Thank you for coming out to tonight's women's meetings, to Mayor Baraka's women's meeting. First, we're going to have, because he has to run out really quickly, but I wanted to get an oversight of what our economic housing and development offers. So we're going to have Keith Hamilton, the senior manager of redevelopment, come up and share a few words with what we can offer. Keith, thank you.
I don't know if I should stand behind this mic since it don't really work. Good evening. It's good to see all y'all lovely sisters here today. I do go to the men's meetings all the time, and I'm used to seeing a bunch of men in the audience. So it's good to see all the sisters come here and participate in the same process. Hopefully with the same intent to come together, work together, and do some things to empower themselves to make some stuff happen in the city. As Natasha Allen said, I am the Senior Manager of Property Management and Redevelopment in the Department of Economic and Housing Development. And my job is to be the keeper of all city-owned properties. So basically, I'm the person who has the key to all our vacant lots and all of our vacant properties that we got around the city. People think that we have quite a few vacant properties. We actually don't. We have tons and tons of vacant lots though. So, what we really do is try to encourage people, if they can, to come together and build on these vacant lots. I've been telling the brothers for months now to form your LLCs, to do your nonprofits, and put your coins together, your money together, so that y'all could invest in these vacant lots and build 2 families, 3 families, whatever else you can figure out to build on some of these vacant lots. As you was coming in, there's a list of properties that we have available. They need some more copies, so I think somebody can do that before we get out of here. That list contains primarily vacant lots. So let me just go back. So we have vacant lots, we have a small amount of structures that we're making available for our auction, which is coming up in March or April. And we're doing home ownership programs. So a lot of people want to buy our property to do investments. They want to buy property, they want to rehab them, they want to flip them, they want to put them back on the market and do different things. We're not really doing that with our property. What we're doing is we're taking our properties and we're saying, if people want to become homeowners and you want to invest in your family, maybe you want to invest in your family in a way that you acquire property that's 2 family or 3 family, then you live in a portion of the house, then you take your cousin or your uncle or someone else, you let them rent out the 2nd floor, the 3rd floor, however you want to do it. But that's a kind of the model that we're taking. We're trying to have people invest in our city as homeowners and not just people come in from all over the place and invest in our properties and then go somewhere else with it. So we do have a small amount of properties that we're looking at to do home ownership programs, but we don't have a lot of them. So it's very, very competitive in terms of how many people can actually come and actually acquire these properties. But I tell everybody, just shoot your shot. If you can, come to the office. My office is room 421 in City Hall. Our telephone number is 973-733-3914. You call the office or you come through, you get a list of the properties that we have, and you're able to, kind of figure out if what we have works for what you want to do. We also, the mayor has an initiative called the Land Bank. So the city owns about maybe 1,500 properties, and that includes the vacant lots. So we're really giving the Land Bank a sizable portion of our properties so that we're going to have more opportunities for people like yourselves to invest in trying to get the properties from the city in a less bureaucratic way. We have a system of working on helping people get the properties, but it's very long and, a lot of a lot of red tape. But if you have the patience, and I see a couple people here who actually we are working with or have worked with on some initiatives that are actually being, will be successful in what we're working with them on. But if you have some patience and stick with it, you can be successful. But the land bank is going to be a little less bureaucratic, and hopefully as that come online, you'll have a lot more opportunities to acquire properties, not just vacant lots, but actually structures. So I'm here, I can take a couple of questions before I bounce out of here, and then, whatever. Sister right there.
You mentioned the properties are on paper, are they online also?
So,
The lots, I'm sorry.
So yes, actually, if you go to the city's website, newarknewjersey.gov, you can, you have to do some scrolling, but you can find that list. And once we update the list will be updated online as well. And when we set the date for our auction, we'll also provide that information in terms of what properties are going to be in the auction, as well as what list of properties, when the date of the auction is going to be, where it's going to be, and the list of properties that's going to be in the auction. The sister right here.
When it comes to the home ownership programs in relation to the lots, what are some of the benefits?
Well, some of the benefits would be you can get the property from the city at a below market value price. So if you can get the property at a below market value price, that gives you some, leg up on what you can do with the property incentive-wise. So let's say you get a property that's a buildable lot is 2,500 square feet. I might sell you the lot for anywhere from $6 to $10 a square foot, right? At $6 a square foot, 2,500 square foot lot is about $15,000. So you at $15,000 right there, but the lot itself might be worth $40,000 or $30,000. So you already have some equity in that. You are able to take that to your financial institution or wherever partners you can gather up, take that and say, I have this lot, I'm ready to build. If whatever you're trying to do is going to make money for yourself as well as the financial institution, they'll probably be willing to put you the money for that property. So there's some incentives in there. There's also 5-year tax abatements that people can get access to if you are able to build on that lot, and you have 5 years to. I think the way the tax abatement works is it's in increments. So you pay little to no taxes the first year, then it raises every 5 years, and then at the end of the 5 years, you'll have to pay full amount on your taxes.
So basically, the benefit is more so like just to be able to get the lot at a lower price.
You get the lot at the lower price, but if you put your chips together and your partnerships together, you can build up something nice, worthwhile for you and your family. Right here.
Quick question, you referenced the auction. Are the lots part of the auction or just the actual structure?
So they're going to be a mixture of lots and structures in an auction, yes. And it might be maybe a commercial piece as well.
And is it only the home buyers program? Is it only for first-time home buyers or?
No, it's not attached to anything first-time home buyers. Over here.
Please be so kind as to please repeat your name again and phone number.
My name is Keith Hamilton, Senior Manager of Property Management. Telephone number, you can find us at 973-733-3914. I'm switching back and forth. Over here.
What was what's the maximum deposit?
So there's no deposit type of scenario. What happens is once we finalize the amount of the purchase price, once we go to closing, you'll have to have the entire amount at the closing. And then, that doesn't include what it's going to take for you to build on it, but it's going to take whatever it is for you to acquire the property from the city. The process for the auction. You talking about the auction? Okay. So the auction is a little bit different. So what happens is we have a starting price for the amount of the properties. So let's say we have 20 properties in the auction, and I'm just throwing out 20 as a round number. Each property is valued at a certain amount. if a property is valued at maybe $10,000, at the time of the auction, you're gonna have to have 10% of whatever that, and it get confusing. So you're gonna have to have 10% of whatever the bid is. So if it's at 10,000, you have to have $1,000 for that property. Now, if that property actually rise up to 25,000, then you have to have 2,500 at the time of the auction. So it's all based on the amount as the property escalates in the auction. And auctions, now, don't get me wrong, the auctions are quite competitive. There are a lot of people that come to the auctions. It's not a scenario where it's all, one group of people over here, one group of people. It's some of everybody that participates in our auction. It's very diverse, and everybody has the opportunity to do it. So what we encourage people is to come together in a robust way. Some people, some groups, they don't come by themselves. They come, such and such, such and such, and such and such. It's only us that come Johnson, Johnson. But the other people, they know how to put it together in a way that's beneficial to all of them. So I encourage you to do that. The follow-up question, go ahead.
Do you accept credit cards?
No, at the time of the auction, it's only check or a money order. And there's a cashier's check as well. Over here, sister.
Yeah, I had a question that you answered, because
Okay.
I was wondering, I heard you say that you're looking to make it more feasible for Newark residents
Yes, ma'am.
to invest, because we see other cultures buying like a home. So I'm saying, is there any initiative by the city for the Johnsons? Because not everybody can be an LLC, you understand that. Is there an initiative for the Johnsons to make it more competitive for them?
To make it more competitive.
Competitive to be able to get to these auctions, because I know what you're saying, but the problem is if you have a group that comes together and they have finances and Johnson doesn't, Johnson's gonna buy the whole to stand
But
for it.
that's what I'm saying on the end. Johnson Williams Smith. I do upstairs. I'll go upstairs and get them before I come down. Sister right here.
You mentioned that you would want the person to live in the home once it's completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever. But what if you've already bought some properties and you're already living in one? Does that mean you have to get up and move into that?
No. So, the idea for the home ownership program is to encourage homeowners. So, Newark is a city that is the majority renter. Majority people rent in the city of Newark. So the incentive is for, individuals from the city of Newark who are renting, who would like to become homeowners, to actually come to us and present themselves to us, and then we try to make that. What you're talking about more is an investment scenario. I don't have enough properties for investment scenarios right now, but the land bank, as I alluded to earlier, they will have those opportunities as it moves forward and as it grows. I'm not saying that we won't be doing it in the future, but just right now, I just don't have enough in my inventory to be able to support people like yourself or people that you're mentioning that would like to become home, that already have their own.
They're from Newark.
So what I say is, we have
They wanna buy it.
we have a bunch of lots. Let's see if you can build on some of these lots that we got. All right. Before you come, go ahead.
For the auction, you said that we a cashier's check or money order?
Yes.
So you don't pay at the time of the auction?
You do, so
So how you gonna? you
so
don't know
we,
what you got?
we tell people to just have a certain thing, have certain amounts in mind when you're doing it. We allow people to run out real fast. A couple banks in the area go out real fast, come back, and you can do it right then and there. But if you don't come back within a certain amount of time, we move on to the next.
No personal
No personal checks. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a date yet for when the land bank is gonna launch, or an estimated date when that will?
So the land bank technically is in existence on paper. What we're doing right now is finalizing all of the regulations and all of the agreement that they need to have with the city in order for them to, maximize in the way that they want to, that they need to maximize. So there's an agreement that needs to be attached. There's also some properties that we need to work out, you know, who goes where and what goes, you know, what goes to who. So
So you
that's
can't bid
definitely
on
what
those
we need.
properties yet, and that's not open public yet to know what those properties are? Like, we can't, there's no list of those properties that are in the land bank yet?
So technically, no, but technically everything is in my inventory or the inventory of the city. So if it's in the inventory of the city and there's an opportunity for you, you know, you can come see me and we can talk about it. However, you know, that's the reason why I'm kind of up here to say this to you, because there's we're trying to put together an accurate, updated list, which I'm working on. Hopefully within the next week or so, I'll have that's going to be made available to everybody. However, I do want people to understand that because the land bank is happening and because the auction is happening, that the items on that list are going to be real particular in terms of what's going to be available and what's not.
Okay.
Until the auction is set and until the land bank has, you know, the stuff that it needs, that list may fluctuate, is what I'm saying.
What is the actual difference, or what are the differences between what's going on auction and the land bank? Because I really
So-
don't get a feel for what this land
Oh,
bank is.
Okay. So I'm actually, I might ask Aisha Glover to come up here and talk about the land bank. Because I know that she's been working on some of this stuff, you know, in her capacity. But, so, all right, so auction is simply what that is. If anybody ever watched like Storage Wars or like Bid Wars or something like that, this, you know, you go to it's in a room like this, you got somebody to come up there, you talk real fast, you say all the numbers, like this property is worth this property, he throws the numbers out, and they out. And, you know, you start off with a property that was $25,000, next thing you know, after everybody's finished bidding, it's worth $100,000. And the highest bidder wins. That's the auction. A land bank is kind of going to be a depository for properties in the city that are vacant and abandoned, blighted, you know, dilapidated, problem properties that have been sitting there for years. No one has, you know, there's like a Phantom LLC that owns it. You know, can't nobody reach out and touch whoever it is that owns the property. It's been sitting there. So what the mayor decided to do was work on a way to acquire these properties along with the properties that the city already owns, and then make those properties available to people that want to rehab them, you know, invest in them, you know, bring them back up to tax code, and then create, you know, better neighborhood opportunities for people to live. So that's kind of what the land bank is. It's going to be a depository for all of those properties that are out there. They're going to be set up so that they can actually go after those properties that are owned by Phantom LLCs and stuff that's just sitting there that can't nobody reach. They'll go after them, pull them into their inventory. Either they're going to fix them up and then make them available, or they're going to work with investors and developers who can actually do that themselves.
And it'll be an auction for that property as well?
They're going to have multiple ways of disposing of their property. They're going to have multiple ways. They're going to have, you know, auctions. They're going to have lotteries. They're going to have, you know, online auctions, all different types of scenarios. Go ahead.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Properties that pay tax law, and you said you sit there.
Say that again?
Remember you said the LLCs?
Okay.
properties-
So yes.
You mean the ones that taxes have been paid on?
Yeah, people are paying taxes on some of those properties that are sitting out there, that's just sitting out there. And
How you gonna take it?
there's certain mechanisms that the state has empowered the land bank to utilize that can actually go after those properties. It'd be some court actions, but it's going to be opportunity for them to acquire some of those properties through the courts. It's not going to be just we're just going to take it. It has to be it's a system set up. For that.
Would that limit to abandoned dwellings, or would it limit to, say, a family who can't afford fixtures and so forth, and like to keep the upkeep of it? Would you take the house or something like that?
No, we're not talking about properties that are lived in. Now, if it's a squatter situation, that's a little bit different. If it's somebody that just can't, the land bank and the city will try to help people and we have some programs out there that are designed to help people to fix up their houses if they are not able to. So, I mean, they have some of that out there, but they're not gonna go after properties if people are living in the properties and they're paying their taxes. They're not gonna do that, but they're gonna try to help them to get their properties up to code.
Is that part of the land bank, helping?
I think it will be a part of it, yes. Yes, ma'am.
So just quickly for clarity, the properties that are in.
They can't hear you.
The properties that are on the list and in the inventory now are publicly owned properties.
Yes.
That have been taken back through foreclosure and other methods. There's a very small percentage that might fall under that bucket of what's called APRA, so for abandoned properties. Essentially empowering the city to be able to take back vacant or abandoned properties. But I don't want anybody to leave thinking that private property taken back from the city. These are all publicly owned,
Yes.
city-owned lots or structures.
Yes. Yeah, we're not going out there to like swoop down on people. They're paying the taxes and stuff. But if you have a problem property and it's vacant and it's on our, what she alluded to, the APRA list, like if we designated that property as an abandoned property, then you definitely need to be aware that something may happen to your property.
And the properties in the land bank come with a 5-year tax abatement?
Well, I mean, there's still, anybody who's willing to build on a vacant lot is eligible for the 5-year tax abatement. I don't know if you're doing a rehab of an existing structure, if you're eligible for the 5-year tax abatement, but there might be some other programs that might be made available. You just have to kind of like do a lot of research and fish and try to find what those are. Last couple of questions. Go ahead.
Is it possible for a group of people to come together and purchase multiple lots that may be next to each other to do a small complex if they're all gonna be living?
Yes, that's encouraged. That's the idea. Like I said, Johnson, Smith, Williams, all y'all come together and make it happen. Yeah, for sure. Yes, 1, 2, and then up to, so one more hand here.
Don't you identify, let's say you identify a property or a vacant lot, we negotiate with you, are there any opportunities on the finance side in terms of how to get the money to build on the lot?
So
City getting involved in helping with the
I would say yes, there are some funds that we're working to make available to individuals who are trying to build and they need some gap funding. But I would say that it would not be like a scenario where it's the majority of the funding. So what we're doing is we're trying to incentivize you by selling you the property at a discounted price or discounted amount, and then based on that discounted amount, we're kind of like, leaving the ball in your court to kind of like come with what you need to come with in order for you to get over the top. So I would say yes, but not completely. Ma'am?
Question, besides building a structure, can you turn the space into like a green space as opposed to a structure?
So we do have undersized lots in the city, throughout the city, that we have deemed for an adopt-a-lot program. Very robust adopt-a-lot program that we do in the city. And we try to target people who want to do green spaces for those type of lots. But yes, there will be opportunities for people to create green structures, passive parks, community gardens on the vast majority of the lots that we have. We do make those available, but we do say that our incentive is to try to have somebody develop the lot. That's it? Okay, thank you, everyone.
Hello again. So I realized when Keith said my name that I didn't introduce myself. So I am Natasha Allen. I am the senior aide for Mayor Baraka for the South Ward. And I realized it only after he said my name. So we do have an awesome speaker here this evening. We have Nikisha Adams, who is a Newark native. Excuse me. She gained extensive experience from her employment with corporations in the finance field. She has over 15 years of experience in the accounting field. She always had the entrepreneurship spirit and jumped into entrepreneurship full-time for the last 2 years. Nikisha has strived to give back to the community that raised her by opening businesses that contribute to the community. Nikisha owns Lotus Laundromat, located in Newark, New Jersey. Growing through the bricks of Newark, New Jersey, Nikisha Adams honed her financial expertise through collaborations with major corporations and branded financial institutions, combining her 15-plus year experience in finance and accounting, along with her love for community and a call to entrepreneurship. Nikisha has redeveloped the building located at 625 Springfield Avenue in Newark and reopened the laundromat, which was closed to the community for over 8 years. Please help me welcome Nikisha Adams.
All right, that's fine. Good evening, ladies. I am so impressed by the amount of people in the room tonight, okay? Because we're getting there. We're not as much as the men's meeting, but we're getting there. That was a phenomenal bio, and that haven't always been my story, right? And I share that because a lot of times people look at me now and they're like, Nikisha, you're doing really well and you're doing great and you're opening a business, but behind all that, there's like a ton of struggle. I grew up in Newark. I was a teenage parent. I had my son 3 days after I graduated high school. He's currently in college, along with my second son, which I had. So by 21, I had 2 kids. And now both of my children are pursuing higher education in college, right? So I share that to say, don't let your past or whatever journey you're going through define where you are. I went to college. I graduated college in 2010. I graduated high school in 1998. So if you do the math, there's a lot going on in between there, right? Between kids and work and kids and just trying to figure out how I was going to put food on the table. 2010, I graduated college and I was already in the finance field, but I started to move up. And I got to a point where I was comfortable. I had an awesome 401k. I was working from home 2 days out of the week. I had an awesome vacation, and I even got a bonus, right? And I'm like, do they know who I am? If they give me one more raise, right, it's over. However, I knew that something was missing. So I kept searching to find what was missing. In 2015, I went to the NAACP Leadership Summit in Orlando, Florida. And the keynote speaker was our own Mayor Ras Baraka. And he said, a lot of us go to school, we get our education, we start doing well, and we forget to come back and bring some people with us. And what that did, it triggered me because I'm like, why am I in Orlando trying to find how I can give back when I have a city that raised me and they need to see what the city raised? So I came back to Newark and I took my little side money, and let me tell you how I did my side money. So I had my 9 to 5. I worked there. I was doing well, but I was also a tax preparer. So every year when I got home from work, I sacrificed time because you have to sacrifice something, whether it's money, time, the kids, the husband, whatever it is. If you want to grow, you have to make a sacrifice. So I sacrificed time. So every year, tax season came, and I would make $20,000, $30,000, whatever that was for that period. And I share numbers because I'm transparent and I don't know how not to share what it is, right? So every year I would work, save money, and that would be like my side money to do something with. So when I came back from Orlando, I was like, I have to do something in Newark. So I invested in, with a partner of mine, I was a silent investor in a business downtown Newark. He ran it for about 2 years, and in 2017, he reached out to me and said, I'm gonna close the business. Do you know someone that can buy me out? Right. So again, I have my side, I have my little side pot for whatever comes up. So I said, I can buy you out, and I did. So I took over the cafe, which was Mocha Lounge. I knew nothing about food. I knew nothing about restaurants. I knew absolutely nothing about the food industry. But I knew that this was an opportunity for me to come back into the city and blossom. So I jumped. I resigned from my full-time job because I knew that I felt clustered and I felt like something was missing. So I resigned from that job, and now I have the cafe. I also had a client that bought properties in the city of Newark, and one of his assistant called me. Here's another pointer: relationships, the way you treat people, the way you address people, the way you leave people when you walk out of the room. This was his employee, but she called me and said, there's a laundromat on Springfield and South 15th. I think you should take a look at it. I'm like, a laundromat? All right. So I went down and took a look at the laundromat. I was under the assumption that like the ceiling was going to be falling in and the building was just going to be in horrible shape. I opened the door, and it was like someone walked away and left the laundromat for me to come and reopen it. So now I quit my job, I have a laundromat, and I have a cafe downtown that I have to figure out how I'm gonna do it all. In the midst of all this, I'm still trying to build, right? Because we still have to eat. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do my accounting on the side. That's gonna bring a little change in. I'm going to run the cafe, and I'm gonna figure out the laundromat. So I'm doing all three of these at the same time. This was in May of 2017. We're only in 2020. So up until February of 2017, I was working in corporate. Fast forward to where I am today. I opened Mocha Lounge. It was an amazing space. It was a space that brought me back to the community and put me in contact with the art that I forgot that Newark is so blessed to have. And literally, I grew up in Newark, and I did not know that we had so much culture because I was busy. I'm raising kids and college and whatever. So I didn't know our culture was so deep and so strong. So when I opened Mocha Lounge, I was back. So I'm running Mocha Lounge, and I'm opening a laundromat. I reached out to NCEDC, now Invest Newark, and I said, I have this building. I want to open a laundromat. Can you help me? Again, resources, showing up, being consistent, constantly showing up. I popped into that office so many times, I think I knew the cleaning people in the building because I was always there, right? And every program that they had, I signed up for. So I signed up for a loan. There was red tape. I had to give more. There was more red tape. I had to give more. More red tape. I had to give more information. And for a period, I took that personal because I said, well, why do I have to do A, B, C, D, and then I have to come back and give you more information? But today, I know that that's the information that was needed. And part of it is being prepared. Keith talked about the auction in March. We have 3 months to get prepared. Tax season is right around the corner. A ton of people are going to get back $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is. Get together as a unit and be prepared. So when March get here, when they pull out their checkbook, you're pulling out your check too. So I got a loan from, and I'm throwing pointers while I'm telling the story because, I don't know, I'm a storyteller. So I went through NCEDC, and I got a loan. I got a loan for construction. And I'm not working. I have this building. I want to open a laundromat, and I got a loan for $25,000 from NCEDC. And the reason I got the loan was because I was able to give them a 5-year projection. I was able to show them how my business was going to make money, and it was realistic, right? The mayor mentioned, I think it was November or December, there was a joint meeting, a women and men's meeting, and he said, go after what you know is going to make money. Like right now, I think we have lead. There's a lot of like lead money kind of floating around. That's what you go after. So you may want to open a hair salon, but if you're not going to get a contract or a bid for a hair salon, you may say, okay, I'm going to do a hair salon, but in addition to that, I'm going to work on this because that's where the money is. Got my loan from NCEDC, and then I started diving into the laundry business, and I needed equipment. And I made calls, and I made more phone calls, and more phone calls. And every time someone said no, I made another phone call and another one. Eventually, I got my equipment financed 100%. Again, I'm still unemployed, right? But I was able to show them, based on where this laundromat is and based on the market, we're able to generate income. So laundromat construction is going well. Well, it's going. Stuff is being done. Every time we fix something, we ran into another problem, and then we would find a way to fix it. Run into another problem, find a way to fix it. But we had to keep going. Even if it was small strides, we had to keep going. I opened the laundromat in August of 2018. I bought the building in May of 2017. So there was a year where I had to pay the mortgage for the building, and I still had to keep the lights on. Still had to pay for security, and there was no income coming in. So there were sacrifices, right? Whether it was, all right, kids, this is what we're going to eat this week. Yes, all week, this is what we're eating. Like whatever sacrifices I had to make, those are the sacrifices that I made. So in August of 2018, we opened a laundromat. Open up the laundromat, and again, because you open a business don't mean that people are going to walk in the door. Okay? So we worked and we market and we promote, and we're still working. In the midst of that, I have Mocha Lounge, which is struggling, and I'm fighting, and I'm trying to keep the doors open for my people, and I'm trying to keep the doors open for the art, and I'm trying to keep the doors open, but rent is $3,000 a month, and I can't sell $3,000 worth of coffee, plus payroll, plus electric, plus supplies. I just couldn't do it. So in November of 2018, we closed the door to Mocha Lounge. That broke me. From the outside, everyone was like, all right, we're going to open another one. But for me, it was a failure, right? And I was disappointed, and I had to dig myself up and get out of that hole and dust my knees off and do it again. And that point is, you have to keep going. Right? Like it's 9 o'clock, you're tired, you may have to drink some coffee or whatever you have to drink and keep going, because it's not easy. And even now, I own a laundromat. I have 4 employees, 2 of which live on the same block as the laundromat, and 2 live, I think, within like a 2-mile radius. So I'm purposely hiring people that live in the community, and I'm purposely using this platform to bring up, and I hire young people. I hire young people because they're impressionable, and I hire young people because if I hire a 21-year-old and I see him going in the wrong direction, or in the direction that I was going, I know how to speak to that young person and kind of shift their path. So I share my story and I share my journey to let you know that wherever you are right now is sufficient. Wherever you are right now is a great starting point, because technically my entrepreneurship journey didn't start until 3 years ago. And I've had a cafe. I now have a laundromat that is constantly growing. And as I grow, I will continue to pour back in the city of Newark and in the community that raised me. So that's pretty much it. If anyone have questions about programs in the city that I've partaked in, and I've partaked in a lot of programs. I've signed up for NCEDC. I think I've done 4 Invest Newark, right? Invest Newark, I've done 4 or 5 programs. I've done Rising Tide. I've done the Rutgers SBA program. I've done every opportunity there is for me to grow and for me to learn and build, I partake in. So if you see an opportunity out here, if you see, because they're constantly pushing stuff, even if you don't have money, show up anyway. Because you don't know what you're gonna learn from that program. You don't know who you're gonna run into. You don't know what doors are gonna be open. I signed up for Port Authority. Yes, you see me. I signed up for Port Authority and they said, well, Nikisha, what are you selling? Whatever they're buying. So, again, my name is Nikisha Adams and I am an entrepreneur in the city of Newark, and I am striving to build and grow and take a few people out of the rain with me. So. Any questions? You're good?
So I'm surprised that we didn't have any questions for such a phenomenal woman such as Nikisha. But anyway, I wanted to ask a question that was posed to me over in the corner because Keith alluded to it as well as Nikisha. Do we have women in the room that are interested in getting together to pool their funds together to start investments? So I think that that's something that we need to, towards the end of the meeting or at the end of the meeting, we need to have like a quick discussion so that we can share information so that we can at least start building on that. Because again, if auctions are coming up in March, we need, we could have had the conversation, but it's January, so we can have the conversation and then we can be prepared to walk into the auction and have more than enough money that we'll need to be able to begin to build. Make sense? So before we bring on the man who has allowed us the space to have such phenomenal meetings, I wanted to bring up a young lady named Amani. We're going to start having women's leadership workshops. They're going to be it's going to be 2 Saturdays a month. I'm not sure of the exact date. So I'd like Amani to come up and kind of give a quick overview so that she can explain to you. And we do have a sign-up sheet in the back for anyone who's interested in signing in the workshops. So let's give Amani a welcoming hand.
Hi, ladies. Yes, so I am a part of the I Am My Sister's Keeper organization, which is also aligned with the Mayor's Women's Leadership. And we are enforcing women empowerment. It's a huge movement, which we want all you guys to be a part of. We will be kicking off our workshop series, so which includes credit repair, financial literacy, home ownership, personal development, and many other things. Our first workshop is this Saturday, the 18th, from 12 to 2 at Symphony Hall. It's free. You guys should come out because it's free information, and we are willing to give you the resources to use. So we're looking forward to see all you guys here. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. 1, 2, 3. It's wireless. Oh, it's wireless? My name is Sister Dawn, and I am honored and humbled to be a part of the Women's Leadership. I'm going to tell Public Buildings to order another one of these, okay, Mayor Baraka? It gives me great pleasure to be here in front of all of you beautiful ladies. As the Mayor Leadership grows and our women meetings grow and We are a reflection of each other and the love that we have for our city, and we're growing in such a dynamic direction. So it's only befitting that we start including all the things that are going on, right? So we have the amazing Miss Allen, who I am so grateful came here. If you have a chance, stop by her laundromat. It's such a serene space to be in, even though it's a laundromat. You know, those chores never stop for us. I would love for everyone to take advantage of all the things that we are offering within the city with the women's leadership, including our workshops, including the resources at the Shani Baraka Center, and really take advantage of what we have to offer here in our city, right? We may not be dealing with some of the things specifically, but know that there's resources all throughout our city that is literally at a phone call away, or a text message away, or an email away. And I'm grateful to be working along with the most amazing leader that this side of the world has to offer. Mayor Ras J. Baraka is doing something in our city that has not been done ever or is being done anywhere else. So let's be clear, we have an amazing leader, and I would like to bring him up to encourage us the way that only he can.
I'm sorry if I can't be that long. I got to go do WBGO. But just want to reiterate some of the things. First, hey, how y'all doing? It's good to see this many people in here. Trust me. I mean, I was getting a little worried. I'm glad, and maybe as soon it's time to move upstairs. Time to move on up to the, the council chambers, fill it out, grow it out, invite as many people as you can. It's getting so big for us. We're getting ready to do a men's breakfast next month. We're going to have thousands of guys up in there. And some of you ladies come to the meeting anyway, so it's probably your third meeting this month. Now we appreciate that. We don't turn you away because we actually believe in the family. But, at the end of the day, we need to have our men's meetings. We need them. We got to push each other, to do what's right and to take control of our communities, our neighborhoods, our streets, our families. We pushing each other to do that. I was at the Shani Baraka Center yesterday, and I, heard Dawn talk about it, and they were there teaching young ladies, the business of wig making. These are folks that have been victims of domestic violence. The business of wig making and makeup, how to put on makeup for other people as a business, and trying to get them to do shows like Love and Hip Hop and all these other kind of shows, because that's where the industry is. And I met a young lady there who was shot twice, right, with a shotgun at point blank range, right. She was shot in her chest and her back. It was sad for me because it reminded me of my sister, but at the end of the day, she was there trying to recover from all that, trying to learn how to get a business and push that business off the ground. So it was super inspiring, and some of us haven't been close to an issue like that, and we don't have the motivation to do those type of things. And that's really what this is about, trying to get us motivated to be forward thinking and figure out how to build and fix our own condition and circumstance, and not wait for other people to do it for us, or blame other people because it's not done yet, or try to get something for folks who ain't gonna give it to us. We've been waiting for people to give us something for years that they have not given us. So while we continue to struggle waiting for that, we need to be able to build something for ourselves in the meantime, right? That's what we talk about at the men's meeting. We all agree with reparations, but we need something today. Right, we down with the Trump impeachment stuff that we talk about, but if he got impeached tomorrow, it ain't gonna fix my situation. Right, so we gotta fix our situation and get Trump impeached. I mean, that's basically how we talk about it. Some of the things that we talked about it upstairs. There are 53 contracts in the city that are finished this year. The city does over $100 million in contracts in this town, right? Over $100 million. When I first came, we were at 3% in terms of our local procurement, buying from local businesses. We have 30-something% now, and people clap, but that's bigger than 3, but it ain't 100, and it's not 50, and that means that there's 70% of business that's still going outside of the city, right? So I'll be trying to figure out what the 30% is, but if I was wise, I'll be trying to figure out what that 70% is that's going outside the city. Maybe I can offer that. That's what I think the kid was talking about. Like, how do you get into that? And we want to do all the beautiful, sexy things that we see on the internet and all that, but what about who's giving us paper, right? Who's delivering the pens, the ink? Who's washing the clothes? Like all the things that we need that we don't think of. Like when you call DPW to come board up that abandoned building, well, where they getting the lumber from? Right? Where they getting the nails, the hammers? Who's providing this stuff to them? And where do we have to go and get all of these things that we ask for? Services that exist in our community. How are we providing it? How are we making ourselves available? Everybody can't be a caterer, right? Somebody got to cater and somebody got to provide the plates, right? Everybody can't open a beauty parlor. Somebody got a beauty parlor, but who's selling the nails? Who's selling the hair? Who's selling the moisturizer? Who's selling the lotion? Like we have to partner with each other on that level, right? And begin to think about the business in terms of what's needed, what's necessary, and begin to serve these anchor institutions and the folks in this community the things that they need. Where I live in the Weequahic section, we spend $100 million a year, they go that number again, outside of the city. Just in that part of the South Ward. Just in that part, right? Just in the Weequahic section, that part. On clothes and food and electronics, we spend all that money. One of the problems is, we don't have the businesses that we need so people can invest in their community. The other part of it is we're not industrious enough about starting those businesses. We're waiting for other people to do it. So while we at the gentrification protest, when we finish that, we go to South Orange and eat. So it just doesn't make any sense here, right? We got to think about it in a holistic way. Like the same people who with me, we in downtown Manhattan hanging out, or you somewhere else. I see Newark people in so many places everywhere I go besides Newark, right? I try to deliberately and consciously say we got to go to Newark sometimes. We got to eat in Newark sometimes. We got to hang out in Newark sometimes. Got to go to the movies in Newark sometimes. Got to buy some because what you're doing is you're shopping in Millburn, and you want to know why Millburn look good and your city don't. You spending all your money in Millburn. And so they getting the people who live there money and yours. And the people in the business here is not happening. So when you spend money here, it expands. Businesses expand, right? They hire more people. They pay more taxes. We're able to have more resources. And you got to begin to think about the community like you live in it. You're not here just sleeping in it. You have to be here like you live in it. And so it's important. So if somebody's spending $100 million collectively outside of the city, right? If we got 10% of that money back just in a neighborhood of Bergen Street, those businesses are successful, right? If we get 20% of those dollars on Bergen Street, if we bring some of that business here, if we are consciously and deliberately paying attention to the dollars that we spend, because some money you can't control. Sometimes you can't control where your money goes, right? But there's money you have that you can control. And the money you can control, you should spend it purposefully and deliberately, intentionally. Go to people that you know are putting money back into your community. That's how you keep yourself alive. We kill ourselves and then want to know why we sick, right? Why we dying? Because we giving our money elsewhere. So those are the things that we try to encourage. We tell people to stand up and tell what your business is. I told people, hey, we got to go to support my man on Springfield Avenue. I don't care if you don't like the food he serves. Go over there and buy a water and a honey bun. Right? Go up there and get something. And if you think there's something wrong with the business, then you should tell them. Pull them to the side. Because what we do, we put it all on Facebook. Oh, I went there, it was nasty. You ain't do that to Macy's. You ain't do that when you went to Bamberger's, when it was Bamberger's, right? You ain't do that to all the stores you go to and they follow you from the door all the way around the place, or they treat you nasty. You go back there the next day. Heck, you might go back there the same day. Right? You complaining so you can get back to the store. But what we do is once we go into business, one little thing wrong, we never going back. And we all on TV and all on the social media telling people how horrible it is to keep people away from it, right? And all we doing is hurting ourselves. We hurting ourselves because those very people you saying don't go to their store might hire your child. Right? They'll hire your child in that community. And it's a long line of people waiting to work in Macy's, and they certainly ain't gonna hire your children. So it's important that we invest in our community. And we have to take advantage of these businesses. We have to do the business. We have to provide the business. The anchor institutions, we have a anchor institution project, the Newark 2020, Hired by Live. Aisha's here, she pushes that for us. We try to get them to up their local procurement because everybody was spending a little bit of money. We want them to spend more money. And we trying to get them up to 10%. And if they just spent 10% of their dollars in the city, we're talking about tens of millions of more dollars that are spent and is spread in our neighborhoods and our families. And so in order to get them to do that, we also have to provide the business, right? And it takes time. It's not easy. You don't just walk up with a piece of paper and say, listen, I want the business, right? It's difficult. And guess what? There are people that are designed in these places to make you quit. They want you to walk away, to give up, to say, I'm not doing this no more. That's the purpose. That's why they're there. Some of them people look like you too. That's why they're at the front desk. Their job is to deter you from coming in there. That's their job. Make you not come back. Get you talking about it on social media. But you got to have that serious determination. I tell the guys, the same energy you got when you taking that Uber from across town to go hang out in front of an abandoned building for 6 hours, doing nothing, is the same energy you have to have when you come down here. Don't tell me somebody giving you the runaround. You've been out here for 3 days, an hour a day. You spend 3 hours working on your dream and 15 hours, 20, 30 hours a week working on something that's going to kill you. Right? So it don't balance out. It don't balance out. And I heard the kid talk about the lead service line. Listen, we spending $120 million. One guy came to the meeting, one of the developers, and said, listen, I have a $40 million contract. City is making me hire local people, so forth and so on and so on. He spoke, he left. When he left, I beat the guys up pretty badly. I said, your grandmother can't go to the store with $20 without people harassing her. You let this man come in and tell you got $40 million and nobody raise his hand and say nothing? Y'all supposed to be waiting for him in the hallway. Y'all supposed to be waiting for him in the hallway, down the stairs, by his car. Like, yo, how about get a piece of this? You don't tell nobody to come before you. I got $40 million of your money. And to fix the problem, it's not rocket science, right? And so we start working on guys to be a part of that business. And so we have to do all the paperwork, right? We have to do the paperwork for them. And because some of these businesses don't know how to do the paperwork. So we have to do the paperwork for them. The city, you've never heard of that. The city is doing the paperwork for these people. We're doing the paperwork for them to prepare them to get the money that's there available for them. And the trick is, you can't do it yourself because you don't own like she said, machines. You don't own the machines, so you got to borrow the machines, and you can't float the payroll, and you can't get a loan because you didn't have no business before, and you don't have the numbers correct, and the bank ain't gonna give you no loan, right? So you gotta get all your stuff together. By the time they tell you that and give you a big piece of package like this to fill out, you quit. You quit. But check this out. Because we help those people, there are 2 companies in the city that are local minority companies. I hate to say minority because where I live at, I'm not the minority. The companies in the city, for the life of the project, if they continue to do what they're doing, they stand to make $10 million. That's a real story. That's not a joke. You know what I mean? That's real money and a real story and a real opportunity, because these guys, made their word their bond, sat down and said, look, we're going to get a piece of this. And the mayor beating up on them and screaming at them, like I'm their daddy, like, yo, what are y'all doing? And they like, we're going to get this thing done. We're going to get it done. And so they out here. They in the holes. They're not just working. Some people have their own subcontractors. They're part of the company themselves. And that's exactly what you should be doing. If you're a developer, the city has a law. Says if a company gets a tax abatement, they have to have a minority co-developer. That's what the law says. I mean, they trying to figure out what that means. Why don't you tell them what it means? Where's that? People always come to me, what can we do? Well, I can't write your business plan, fill out your paperwork, put your proposal together, hire the people, do your interviews. Am I going to get part of the equity of the project when it's finished? Am I get part of the deal? No, you got to do something. You got to bring something to the table. We're waiting for somebody to give something to us that they're never going to give us. And we yelling at the people who are in the same situation that we're in, right? As opposed to all of this stuff that's going on out here. There's a lot of, Newark is not a poor city. Just poor people live in it. It's not a poor city. There's all kind of money exchanging hands in this town. You're here with the 2nd largest seaport in the nation, the 3rd busiest in the nation, right now here in Newark. Hundreds of billions of dollars come through that port. 30 to 50 million passengers come through Newark Airport annually. That's where you live at. This is what's happening. Somebody making money. Somebody making a lot of money. And not only they're making money, they're creating wealth. I'm going to leave on that. The reason we don't have these meetings so you can make money. Money is a tool. It's paper. The value of it is based on your belief in it. Just like gold is a stone, right? We wear it as jewelry, but it's not. If I owned a diamond mine, why would I need money? Because I can't go to ShopRite with a diamond and say I want my groceries, here's a diamond, right? Money is convenience for people who have wealth. You ain't never played Monopoly? The winner wasn't the one with all the money in their hand. The winner was the people with all the land, with all the property. The value is in the dirt. The value is in the dirt, and the land is in the dirt, right? Don't stand in front of an abandoned building all day. Buy it. Buy it. You don't want the police to move you? Buy the property. Own it. You want to own the block? Buy all the houses on the block. Buy it. And this whole mentality, we're going to buy it to flip it. That's cool. You need to buy it to keep it. Because the property is the value. The dirt is the wealth. The wealth, those things pass down from generation to generation. The business, the property, the things that you own are yours. You can give it to your son, your grandson, your sister, your mother, your brother. That's what you keep. People, we met a guy from Port Authority. He said he runs his father's business. He opened the business in 1952. 1952, they still running that business. You can't even keep your father's restaurant open. You can't get your mother passed away. The house is there. Y'all fighting over the house gone in 3 months. We don't have a plan. How are we going to keep this property? How are we going to pass this down? How are we going to make wealth for our family? How are we going to send people to college with this house? How is this house going to help us send people to college, right? How is this house going to help us get the things that we need? How do we leverage this for wealth? That's what we need. So we run around chasing money. You're on the internet with a bunch of dollars on your ear. The value of the dollar could go down tomorrow. All that'll be worth nothing. You'll get money. No, you got to get land. Get wealth. That's what it's about. It ain't about money. Money is a tool. It's a tool of exchange. Everybody got a piece of paper. It's a tool of exchange. The minute you stop believing in money, the wealth, the value of it goes down. It goes down. It goes down. Our money is not backed by gold anymore. It's not backed by gold anymore, right? It's just your value, your belief in it, right? Once the belief in it goes away, so does the value of the dollar goes away, right? And our job is to use the money to get the wealth. We all fighting for raises and getting more money. Check it out. You only want more money so you can spend it. As soon as you get it, you're going to give it away. You fighting for more so you can give it to the people who got the wealth, and you want the things. You want all the things, right? As opposed to, you're not getting a raise so you can, like the sister said, put your money together, right? So if you make $30,000 a year, $30,000 a year, how much is $30,000 a year in 20 years? What's $30,000 over 20 years? Huh? 600,000. Right? How do you measure that out? Pull some of that money aside. Grab 3 or 4 of y'all with just that little bit of money. 3 or 4 of y'all and figure out how to pool our resources to buy and get something. When the sister said figure out how to buy that land, that's real. How we get together and buy this property. How we do the things that we need to do to make it work for ourselves. You have a little bit, use a little bit and be smart, right? Stop throwing it all away, giving it away as quickly as you get it, and begin developing a plan to figure out how it's going to multiply for you, right? You use money to make money. And you got these people fooling you. 1% of the country makes more money than 90% of the country, right? Has more wealth than 90% of the country. And so that lets you know that money has nothing to do with how hard you work. Because those people are not rich because they worked hard. They're rich because they were already rich. And they use their money to make more money, right? And so they're just growing their wealth. And we're working our butts off every day to try to get a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. That's what we're doing, right? So we have to figure out how not to be in that situation. Now, I think the system is all kind of things need to be changed. And, people who know me know I think things need to be turned upside down. But in the meantime, because nobody voted for us to be in this situation. In the meantime, we got to do something today. Like, you got to feed your kids now. You got to take them to school today, right? People outside getting killed over nothing right now, over nothing. So we have to figure out a plan how to sustain ourselves. Until somebody says, we gonna get reparations, we gonna have that argument, and I'll be on the side of it, arguing with people we need it. In the meantime, I gotta go to work. Right? You ain't not working, waiting for that, hopefully. So I gotta find out how to create wealth for myself. That's why we're having these meetings. And I'm glad it's swelling. And we need to tell people, like the city has thousands of meetings. This ain't the complaint one. There's 1,000 of those meetings you could go to. You could wild out, act a fool, call people names, cuss me out. You could do it. This is not that meeting. You can go, this is the empower me meeting, right? This is I want it now meeting. This is everything in this city is mine meeting. I tell those guys, everything in the town belongs to you. I create enemies because how I talk to those guys. When I walk out of here to some of these people, the president of Essex County, you know, he barely look at me. I send people to the school, I say, take the class for free. And the guys come back to the meeting and tell me they was in the class for free. They smiling and happy. I did it, man, I did it. Take it for free. Go in the back. They ain't gonna say nothing to you. You 50 years old. The paper don't mean nothing to you. You're not in there to get the degree. You're trying to get some information. Rutgers got a business school. Go into class. Hang out. They ain't paying taxes. And you like to use my name any old way for negative stuff. Tell them the mayor sent you. I was at the mayor's meeting and he said, take the class for free. You got a problem with him? See him. I'll be back tomorrow. I told him, answer questions. Get the syllabus. Do the work. Put on a suit. Talk to the professor when the class is over. I'm dead serious. When it's over, talk to the professor. Like, listen, this is, so forth and so on. Or my name should be at the bottom right there. And see if they start taking attendance when you come in there. Take the classes for free. Get all of the information that you can get. There's all kind of stuff going on down here. Go in it. All this craziness, it ain't for you. Are you kidding me? All you tough guys in here talking about stuff ain't for you. Go in there. The Haynes building something in Express Newark. Walk up the stairs. Make them throw you out. Go in there, participate and partake in everything that's happening down here. Go in it. Ain't nobody ever gonna keep my son out of anything. Not in my town. Are you kidding me? If you've never been to NJPAC, walk in the lobby, look around. Oh, this is nice. That's what you're supposed to do. This stuff belongs to you. Don't act like it's not yours. It's an African burial ground under NJPAC. You ought to be over there. If anything, you should be demanding they put a monument up. How they gonna keep you out? You've been here all your life. Your family been here. Hell, if you just moved here, welcome. Go do the same thing. Cash your buckets down where they are. Take advantage of everything this place have to offer. All of it is yours. All of it, right? And if you think we need affordable housing, build it. Build it. Buy some houses. Put some families in them. Build it. Buy some property. There's a bunch of vacant property and a bunch of vacant lots. Build it. Put some families in it. You waiting for somebody else from out of town who came in here to make themselves rich to build housing for your community and your family. And if they don't do it, you mad. We protesting to get other people to hire our kids. Now, I'm going to continue to fight with them to tell them to hire your kids, but damn it, we got to hire our own kids. That's 100%. We waiting for these people. We forced them to build affordable housing. You build it. It's right in your neighborhood. Everybody coming downtown arguing about the 5 buildings that went up downtown. There's thousands of pieces of property right in your neighborhood that nobody is doing nothing with. And the minute they start developing it in your community, you're going to have to leave. So while they downtown in the meatpacking district, making it beautiful, the people in Harlem mad, they down there down in the meatpacking district, they ain't doing nothing up here. First of all, who is they? They ain't doing nothing up here because I'm sick of that. Because then they come up to Harlem. Now you're complaining that we can't live in Harlem. Then they went to Brooklyn, and they went to the Bronx, and they and all over New York. And I don't know where you at, because they is doing everything. But finally, while you in these neighborhoods and these communities, where all these houses are vacant and they $20,000, you should become the they. In your own block, in your own community. Yeah, go to the auction. Fight and get the auction. There's more of us going to the auction, more of Newarkers, more people going to the auctions now. But there are other programs outside of the auction, right? The land bank is coming. There's other opportunities that we have. Be a part of it. Go to every program, every event the city has. Be in it. It was said. That's the right attitude to have. Be there. Come to everything. Every program, every event, every free offering. Take the time, be a part of it. You never know what you're going to get out of that. You never know what is going to deliver for you, right? One of the guys in the reentry program that we have a class for them too, says, look, I went and got my OSHA, but I got the OSHA, but I'm still not getting hired. I said, we had to give you the OSHA because you ain't going to get hired if you don't have it. Right? So they put all kind of things in place so you can't get the job, but you got to get those things, right? You got to get those things. You have to have the patient to get the OSHA and all those other things so you can get through the door, right? You have to have that same determination. There were people who were born who believe already that this stuff is theirs. You don't think that, so you tiptoe into the place. You tip and toe in there. I don't know nobody, trying to look to see if you know somebody. Or I need to see, I got to find out. I can't go there because it's about who you know, and I got to shake hands. You waiting for somebody to give you something. They already in there. They think it's theirs from the rip. You in there tiptoeing, walking in there. Oh, what's going on in here? Peeping your head in. Trying to find out who in there, what they talking about. Go sit down. Go sit in the front row. Excuse me, I'm sitting right here. Sit in the front row. Get everything you can get and get more of that, because everything you can get is not enough. Get as much as you can get. So I'm proud of the ladies that are doing this. Hopefully next month it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's a panel. That's right, panel discussion, and you go upstairs and be a part of do it upstairs so it's big enough to fit all of y'all and we can pile you all up. We like I said, we're doing a men's breakfast in February. Be glad for the women to do something similar, and then maybe we could do our family one like we always do. And the idea is really to get those guys to feel comfortable about the businesses that they have. And they'd be surprised. I asked them guys, how many of y'all got businesses? A bunch of hands go up. These guys are working out here. So this idea that these people out here don't want nothing, that they're not working, that they're not building, that they're not industrious is a lie. Them hands go up. All them brothers, their hands be up in the air high like, I got a business. I'm trying to make it happen. A business. I fix cars. I clean this. My brother, I always advertise the Dirty Souls, the sneakers, brothers, family from Newark making sneakers, so forth and so on. We should be a part of that, right? We give value to that. I know you want to get the exclusive Nikes, the fancy, whatever these sneakers and shoes that y'all get. We gotta give money to ourselves, man. We give that stuff value. That stuff don't mean nothing unless we put it on our feet. Everything is dope I put on. It's dope because I put it on. That's how I feel about it, right? It was nothing until I put it on. It was just regular. When I put it on, it's fly. Right? And when people look at it, they're gonna say, "Oh, what's those?" Right? Because it's on my feet. And that's what they do. And that's how you have to feel about it, right? Some of these sneakers we wearing today, you couldn't wear in high school. They was called Bobos. I couldn't go to Madison Avenue School with no Vans on. They chased me out of school with them Vans. I go with some Vans. They be like, boy, if you don't get out here with them Vans, I couldn't go to Clinton Place with no Vans or them other sneakers we wearing looking cute. Nah, we make the sneakers valuable. We make the clothes valuable. We begin to think like that, then we enrich and empower ourselves. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate y'all. I got to head on down the street. You want me to answer a couple questions? Yes. I got like 20 minutes. Huh? That was just Monday. He wasn't listening to me Monday. No questions? Good. Our ladies is ready. Yes.
Is there a person or group of people who can help with the step-by-step process for the people that this is like so brand new and such a change in life that it won't become something that we start and don't follow through with it?
Yeah, absolutely. The folks at Invest Newark, plus we have some ladies here that can help you. Aisha is right there. She can help you out. And some other folks that are in here that can help you get to the right people that can figure it out. But Invest Newark is a place to go, which is the old NCDC can help you begin figuring out what it is you need to do, the steps you need to take if you're interested in opening up a business.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the date of the next women's meeting?
That would be, give me 2 seconds.
It's
It's
every
every
fourth.
fourth Thursday, except for when we do family meetings. So it's every fourth. Oh, did you sign in?
I did.
Okay, so it's every fourth Thursday except for when we do family meetings.
Yes, ma'am. Nine o'clock. Women. I told those guys 9 o'clock. It's all good. I mean, at this point, you know, it's all type of women in our men's meeting. Some regularly. They come regularly to the men's meeting. We just say hello. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Good to see you, Crystal. Yes.
Like lead-related contracts that you're trying to fill now?
So right now is they subcontracting. They have to 25% of their work have to be minority and local. They have to hire a certain amount of people and they have to subcontract with a certain amount of people. So when they come on, it's written in their bid specs. We have emergency contracts out now, so they're still looking for folks. I mean, you should
Get that information from.
Invest Newark. Yep, Invest Newark.
By the way, good job with the whole lead situation.
Thank you. Invest Newark is where you would go. They're doing all the back office paperwork for those those institutions I told you about, and they can put you in touch with the right folks. But I met people from out of there's a group that came from Atlanta. They rented out a hotel room and stayed here for the weekend while we was giving out these contracts. They invested their money in a plane ride in the hotel. They said, listen, there's $120 million. If I can get 10% of that, I'm good. I'll go back to Atlanta with that right away.
Because we also make shoes. So obviously I'm interested in how we can supply shoes for those who will be working and making and
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. You should you should reach out to Invest Newark, but I think also Kareem Madeem in the water department, because those are the guys. I mean, not only would they need them for those projects, they probably need them in perpetuity, because we buy boots, uniforms for people to wear in that water department in the city. So that's a great idea. And you should also know that the city can do a up to $40,000 contract with anybody without going through the procurement process. We could give a $40,000 contract. That's a way for us to test out your ability to do the work that we're trying to provide you to do. Like you do a small piece of it for like $40,000, and then you put a bid in for the larger project. That's a great idea. Yes.
So are you all requiring the contractors, small contractors especially, to have the contribution apprenticeship program? Because one of the hang-ups I'm having with clients who have the opportunity to do work right now on their real contract with the crime, but they cannot get that particular.
As workers or contractors?
No, as a subcontractor.
Okay.
So, the state now has it so that you have.
That's right. You have the specific license. Yeah.
Yeah, in order to get
Yeah.
the certificate of public works.
That's right.
Are you all requiring that? Is that
Yep.
a hang-up?
We are, well, we don't have any choice but to require it, but we are trying to we're helping people through the process through doing the back office paperwork. You have to have that certification.
The financial piece.
Yeah, I know. And so part of also what we're doing is trying to put together a fund, right? So we can help people float the cost of the things until the payments come for them, right? We know it's difficult for smaller businesses, particularly ours, to be able to compete and be a part of that because they can't pay payroll, they can't do the other kind of things, and they can't get the loan. So part of what we also working on is a fund to help them take care of their businesses until they are able to make the money to pay us back.
Because they literally say about if they can't get that.
Right,
they can't get
100%.
that program.
Yep.
But you're talking 6,000 just between ERISA and the application.
Right. And then on the worker side, they also have to have the apprenticeship and the training. So the city, again, trains the workers, because what they do, you say you need a certain amount of workers, they say what? We can't find them.
Yes.
So we train the workers and we send them right off of the training thing right to the thing. So that's the only way you're seeing these new workers that's working on these sites, because we've trained them here and sent them right over to the site. Right. So, and that's the same kind of thing we have to do around the business side of it. But the business side is a little bit more complicated. Right. There's a lot of tricks and holes. And then when you get the money, you get all these other things, you still don't have the equipment. So you have subcontractors that are borrowing the equipment from the primes to do the work.
Or they can lease.
Right. And that's another cost. So, yes, ma'am.
Where can, because a couple of guys around my way asked about that. They saw a lot of the lead work going on in the Westport, and they were interested in becoming laborers. But
They should come down here and see Dave Muhammad and sign up for the program so they can get the training and go right in. Yep. Yes. And then you. How you doing?
Drop a gem with the 40,000 that anyone can get.
That's right.
Without, I guess, going through the entire procurement process.
That's right.
If someone is interested in that, when they go through purchasing or procurement, how do they address it?
Well, they can say Jerome Wakefield, talk to Jerome Wakefield about it. You have to, obviously there are companies that we have, and he has a list. You want to first get on that list and you know, find the department, the stuff that you could provide for the department and try to get that contract. So we have to talk to the director, so forth and so on. We can get you that initial contract for 40,000, but we only can do that for that year.
Right, absolutely.
Right.
To kind of prove and then
Yep.
opens the opportunity for even more. Okay.
What's her name again?
Jerome Wakefield. Right.
How do you guys, what programs do you have for re-entry? That when guys are coming back home, because my job, my regular job, I do a lot of placing clients
Right.
out.
So we have, go ahead.
And I sort of, like you said, there's a need. So on my day-to-day job, I'm like, I'm making other people money. This is something I could do, but I'm not sure how accepted the city of Newark is in regards to having suicide integrity housing and Carter Hall and all those things.
Right, those places don't place people for us. We have our own internal reentry program. We take like 50 people every 6 months, so 100 people a year. And they go through a program. We have to do better at placing them when they finish the program, but they do that, and they make about $16 an hour in that program. We also are doing we trying to do other kind of business side programs to get folks involved in trying to do entrepreneurial type of stuff and not just the employment side of it as well. So, every second Friday, upstairs at 6 p.m. Affirmative action. Affirmative action. I'm glad people are interested in these things, you know. Like I said at the beginning of the meeting, we have 53 contracts that are up this year, finished this year. That means we're looking for contracts from to procure business from 53 different businesses that provides things for the city.
And that will be through Jerome.
That's also through Jerome to find out what that is, what contracts have matured, and how do I get told about a bid for that contract. The cleaning contract we talk about all the time. Yes, ma'am.
Do all of those contracts have different deadlines and
Yes. They have bid, almost all of them are bidded. The city has to go do a bid process. Some of it is online. They send you the stuff online. You can send it back online. Yep, you can do that. Or I would do that, and I would walk mine down here. Well, the city has a cleaning contract that we've been fighting for years. Like, so we have a cleaning contract where we pay them. They get $10 million a year to clean about 40 buildings of the city. We've been trying to break it up. We're probably going to bring it back in-house. Unfortunately, there may be some things that we do in the future that I'm just not at liberty to talk about now. But that is an example of business that we should have had for a very long time, right? Because we could clean up our buildings, and if we broke it up and not allow somebody to have a monopoly on 40 buildings. You get $40 million, $10 million to clean a building. These people had the same people had the contract for over 10 years, right? So they've made a significant amount of money, and obviously they're gonna fight us if we're trying to break the contract up. Because I think you could get 3 or 4 companies to do that. Make it mandatory that 2 or 3 of the companies are local or small companies. We could give you 3 buildings to do, and you can make some of that money. I know you'll be glad to make at least 1-2% of $10 million, right? Right? Absolutely. So you can do that, and you can make that happen without rocket science. And we should have those contracts. Yep. No more. Yes, the last one. I gotta go.
If you have a solid plan, and if you have, your finances are already in order, and you wanna move forward with the next step, what should your next step be after you do this?
Well, it depends on what the plan is, right? So if you're talking about procuring business from the city, I would make sure I reached out to Jerome, make sure my name was on the preferred business list, especially my minority business list, make sure I'm on there, because for 2 reasons. One, you might want to bid for a contract, but some of the bid specs call for local minority subcontracting. So that's a way for them to steer you business as well on that if I'm trying to do that. If I'm trying to build my own business and do other kind of things in the city, I might want to reach out to Burnell Hall and Invest Newark and try to figure out how to get my ability to bond, how to do all these other kind of things that I need in order to expand my business. What do I need to do on that side of it? Yep. Or you might need to talk to some other people in this room and figure out how to get financing. I mean, if you're at that level, or bringing your money together, because there's some people who come in and know how to do financing and can get you the dollars that you need. That's yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Can I just add quickly, on the private side, since the mayor is talking about sharing with the city, on the private side, if you are at that point, all your affairs are in order, you feel like your business is well established enough for you to be providing those products or services to an institution, then you can connect with the Newark Alliance, and we try to make sure that we're making that bridge between the small businesses in the city and the corporations and anchor institutions. So the same way that the city does it,
Right.
I'm kind of leading that charge on the alliance side, and along with the mayor holding the corporations' feet to the fire, so that way they're procuring.
And you got to think about it. Like, if you provide in paper, yeah, go ahead.
Aisha Glover, Newark Alliance. I'm here, so if anybody wants to connect that.
Yeah, you got NJIT, Rutgers, Essex County, Prudential, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield, Beth Israel, University Hospital, all these Verizon, all these people are here, and they all purchasing stuff. They got these buildings. They have to buy something. They need them, and so if you have the products, and Aisha could steer you towards that, then that's what you should absolutely positively be doing. We working to get people in the airport. We want you to have I want to be able to walk through the airport and not just see workers I know. Because we passed that level, we fighting them. Now they happy. They like to say, oh, we hired all these people. So now you see the workers, right? And you say, hey, now I want to see somebody with some businesses, right? The cleaning company I was talking about, I got deposed for that, because we in court. And in a deposition, the owner of the company said, I don't know why you're upset. We hire minorities. I said, that's good, but we don't want to work for you. I mean, that's it. Like, we have a right to, have our own company, too. Like, we passed that part. We passed that part, right? We passed it. And we have to go beyond that. We have to go beyond that, and think about our city, period. And all these businesses in here are some of them billion-dollar companies, international companies. Mars is about to be right across the street here. The Mars Confectionery, Snickers, M&M's, right there. You should be doing business with those people. They should be putting money in your kids' college fund. 100%. If you got business, you should be doing business with them, and they should be doing business with you. We're gonna fight them to do business with you, but you have to be prepared. You gotta be prepared. You're from Newark, you gotta be prepared. And I don't just do the minority thing, right? I went to Passaic Valley. I went to speak at Passaic Valley Sewage Company at the board meeting, And before I can even say something, the guy says, we're doing better, Mayor. We got this percentage of minorities. We hired this percentage of minorities. I said, who told you I came here to talk about minorities? I said, I'm from Newark, first of all. And in Newark, I'm not the minority. I'm a part of the majority. I said, that's number one. I'm asking you how many Newarkers that you have working here, right? And how many Newark businesses are benefiting from this place since we given Passaic Valley Switch Company all of this money. How many Newark companies? I don't care. Even if there's a Newark-based company, I can get a Newark-based company, whether they minority or not, to hire Newark residents, right? So don't get we passed that. Don't get tricked. We want everything. We want part of all of it. You want everything. Don't get bottled up into the minority thing, right? Take that if it's there. You want to go beyond that. Don't get bottled up into that. You want to be the prime. You just don't want to be the second dude. You want to be the prime. You want the money, all of it. I can go? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Baraka. They say if a nation can rise no higher than its woman, and it takes a village to raise a family. So we have an amazing chief, like an amazing mayor, an amazing leader, an amazing, it gets no better than what we have here in Newark, and we have to really take advantage of everything that he has presented to us as ladies in this community, as the women that's in this community, to make sure that we are guiding and spiriting our city in the direction that it needs to go in. I'm third generation Newarker. I intend for my children to be the fourth generation and my grandchildren. I have no intentions on leaving this city. So my thing is, let's put a stake into where we live at. Let's invest into our community, because my mayor is laying the whole platform for us, and all we got to do is take advantage of it. Please make sure you sign in for the women's sign-in sheet, as well as the My Sister's Keepers workshops. And if anybody is interested, okay, I didn't tell y'all, right? I'm the vice president of Newark Board of Education. So I do a lot of stuff, right? Thank you. So we had Sisters Inspiring Sisters, where we go inside of the schools and we talk to our young ladies, right? I get no pushback just because of the position that I play on the board. I didn't get pushback when I was coming just as the mayor's assistant, right? I need volunteers because our girls need us. Level-minded, like-minded, black and brown women, they need us inside of these schools, having conversations, having mentors, having guidance, because, I hear some really interesting things inside of our schools with our babies. Yes, ma'am.
I recently retired. I was a postmaster in the United States Postal Service.
Right now.
I'm certified to hire, and one of the biggest challenges I had was that when people came from our community, they were not prepared. It was just amazing in terms of their ability to articulate, proper dress, and even how to sustain the job once they get it. Having said that, I'm sure you do. I'm new to this. I've been in Newark for 40 years, but I'm new to this process. Do you have something like that?
So at this,
for mentorees, listening to what you say?
Yes, ma'am. So right now we're really building up our database. However, at the Shani Baraka Center, at the Women's Resource Center, they do career readiness and to prepare people for jobs. Your expertise is definitely needed, because you're right. Some of us don't know how to go to job interviews. Some of us don't know the etiquette of job interviews, facial expressions, body language, all of these things that we kind of take for granted. We definitely need to teach our next generation, some of the ones in my generation. Any other questions? Because I know we kind of short-lived on time, and there's some amazing women in this room right now. Miss Aisha Glover, she presented and let you guys know what it is that she do. When I tell you, I am so grateful for her to be in my village and in my intimate circle. Black Girl Magic. We have Masani and Patrice from the Source of Knowledge Bookstore, the only black-owned business downtown, because the health food store is closing down. In the state of New Jersey. We don't have too many bookstores, and that one is black-owned. We have Miss Andrea Mason, who is over our People's Assembly. Please get the information from our People's Assembly. They keep you in touch. They let you know what's going on. There's a flyer going around with what they're suggesting can be done to our downtown area, and it's not just our downtown area. That meeting was phenomenal last night because it gave us a voice on what we want to see in our community, not for the people who want to be here, but for the people that are here already. I also have, see, I knew I shouldn't have did that off the top of my head. The young lady, Miss Tia, who owns the sneaker company. And the sneakers are cute. I showed them to my daughter this morning, and she do want a pair. And it's somebody, oh yes, Miss Rhinese from the South Ward. She would like to come and say a few words to the audience. And Miss Lakeisha Yuri will come up after that. Boom, put you on blast. Yes, I did. Too bad, you coming.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, boo.
I understand I'm tall, unlike some other people in the room. So I just want to be able to let you ladies know, as we talked about so many things, you all got the list. I'm in charge of the Southward Special Improvement District. And over in the Southward, I say we have nothing but space and opportunity for everybody to come over. But unlike some people, same thing that the mayor talked about, when you talk about opening businesses, right? We're creating experiences in the Southward. When you go other places, everybody say they want to go other places to go and eat. They enjoy themselves when they go and entertain, things like that. That's what we're looking to bring to the Southward. Everybody that's from the Southward, how many people live in the Southward?
Woo, woo, woo! Southward do rock.
So everybody remembers Little Downtown. They remember the Bergen Street Festival. How many people came to my Christmas parade lighting? Oh, you guys got to come out. It's a wonderful opportunity to build the community. So some of the things that we like to do, and I want you guys to know about it, is that we actually have community town halls. We have those on the fourth Wednesday of every month in our office located at 1049 Bergen Street. And we talk about code and compliance. We talk about zoning. We talk about the process and how do you go about the fourth Wednesday of every month. And so when people talk about, they have people that are renting properties. We recently had someone that thought that they were going to put a beauty supply store on our corridor, and the community said they didn't want it, right? And so we were able to get the community together, make them aware of it, and to know that this particular business owner did not go through the process of going through planning. They didn't they didn't have a certificate of occupancy. And so again, to know that we push back, and so that business is not coming there. And so where some people may not think it's a good thing, we're really determining what's coming to our communities. And so when we have vacant properties, some of us talked about, somebody asked a question, we're not going to put anybody out, but we're not going to continue to allow people to just put anything there and not take care of their properties as well, too. Even though I'm only in charge of Bergen Lines and Clinton Avenue, I like to say that I am in charge of our community over on the South Ward. Again, if anybody is looking to reach me, you can reach me at 973-851-3496. Again, you're welcome to email me also at the South Ward SID @gmail.com. And our office is at 1049 Bergen Street next to Level 1 Bakery. That's a plug. That's a plug. Okay. So, Ronice, RONICE. Ronice. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but before my First Lady of the city walk out the room, I wanted to acknowledge her. Please forgive me, First Lady. That is Miss Linda Baraka.
Where's the meeting that's the fourth Wednesday?
1049 Bergen Street.
What time?
It starts at 6:30.
About the birds, onions, and Clinton corridor. I have a quick question for you.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. Every fourth Wednesday. Yes, Miss Mason.
You have a lot on your plate when it comes to 3 major blocks, Clinton, Bergen, Lyons. Is there a possibility of you also being in charge of Freelandhuizen? Because I'm just thinking when you mentioned those 3 major streets, I was thinking Freelandhuizen is also in the South Ward. And
So,
I
know. So, part of the, and that comes back from the community to petition for the expansion of my ordinance. Again, I have Avon Avenue, Hawthorne Avenue, Elizabeth Avenue, Freelandhuizen Avenue are all other streets in which people are trying to include. And to know that I have, where's our guest speaker go? part of Springfield Avenue too, including the South Ward, that we also would like to include in that. We do all the beautification, streetscapes, and all those other kind of things. So thank you very much.
Because you're awesome.
I appreciate you.
My sister is amazing.
Thank you, ladies.
Miss Yuri, please. I gotta hurry up because I had a date tonight.
But before Ms. Yuri comes, we're just gonna have our sister T Strong. I wanted to just come up and talk a little bit about her product and, you know, give you guys an opportunity to tour her site. Miss T Strong.
So it's really Tasha, but I prefer T. I used to work in the music industry at the Source magazine, and so the only way to get A&R people on the phone was for them to think that they were a man was calling. So my assistant was like, "We just gonna start calling you T," and so that's kind of how that happened. So I just wanted to share really quickly. She showed the shoe already, but my company is called Dirty Souls Footwear Group. We are we don't have a store location, so we're not the typical type of footwear company. We make and manufacture shoes. Our office is on Halsey Street. And so we basically work with retail outlets and stores, and we sell directly to them. So the shoes that you saw, those are called Giza Olympias. And that particular shoe and that brand we have in Foot Action right now. So if you want to go buy them, they're in Foot Action right now. I think they actually might be going on sale shortly. But also they're on our website, which is Giza Olympias, is GizaOlympius.com. I run the business with my husband. We have another partner who's the designer for the business as well. And so a couple of things that we're trying to do, or that we're going to be doing within the community, is we're looking to teach kids how to make shoes. Because there are all these kids who love Nike and Adidas, and they don't realize that they can do the same thing. They can make their own, or they can go to work for them at some point if that's what they choose to do. However, they need the skill set to be able to do it. My husband and I have been doing it for over 20 years. So from manufacturing to talking to factories in China, that sort of thing. And so we're looking to participate and work with some after-school programs, any schools. So Dawn, we need to talk. But we'd love to be able to provide that as a service. And so that's one of the things that we are really, truly working on. And as I mentioned earlier, we are working on getting our business bonded as well. We are SAM certified with the government already. We're looking to get we're in the process of getting our Hub Zone certification. I'm not sure if you guys know what that is, but historically underutilized, oh, you know what it is. And so we're in the process of getting that as well, so that we can, bid on some of these contracts and get our house in order so that we can not only use that $40,000 that the mayor spoke about, but some of those larger contracts, as I want that $40 million one too. Thank you, ladies.
Did anybody see that newspaper article with the family that was doing the shoveling in front of the new development that they created? That's her. I just wanted to say all her black girl magic.
So I just wanted to quickly give out my contact information because I have to run. Sorry. Andrea just yelled at me. Because I have to run, I didn't realize the time. So again, if you're already there, right? So if you're not there, you need additional support, it's Invest Newark. But if you are already there and you're prepared to vend to an institution or a corporation in this city, then please reach out to me. My organization is the Newark Alliance. My contact information is A. Glover. It's AGLOVER at Newark-alliance.org. I actually don't even know my office number, so you could go to newarkalliance.org and just the website and pull up the phone number and contact me. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
I just wanted to say really quickly, Lakeisha said that she didn't want to speak. there were some women that did raise their hands in regards to being able to pool their money together. So if you ladies would like to stay back so that we can, at least start a working list, so that we can kind of separate it and see what comes down the pike, so that, come March for the auction, we have our set of people who are ready to roll out. Does that make sense? Andrea, really quickly, you want to come up and introduce the People's Assembly, or was Dawn sufficient?
Okay, I will pass up an opportunity.
1 minute.
Okay.
Because we gone.
Newark People's Assembly is the vehicle that aims to bridge the gap in communication between City Hall as a whole and the constituents. Many of you, I recognize your faces, so you've already probably joined our database, opted into all the many emails that I send on a regular basis, and I thank you for that. For those of you who do want to stay connected, we do send out and we forward a lot of information from City of Newark sponsored events and programs, as well as just Newark-based programs and activities that we feel would benefit our community. Newark People's Assembly is for anybody with a vested interest in the city of Newark, so you don't have to live, own, or be a resident of the city. You can just have that vested interest and sign up. So I'll have some sign-up sheets in the back if you want. You can sign up also online. NJ.gov is the city's website. Just click on community, which we represent, and click on Newark People's Assembly, and you can register there. Thank you. And as Dawn alluded to, there is another meeting regarding the city of Newark becoming a transit hub. And as a transit hub, that opens us up for the opportunity to get more grant funding through the state, federal government, Department of Transportation, because we really want to, Broad Market has been neglected for so many years, and we really want to focus on that and a half-mile radius around. So come out, share. It's only a 2-part series right now. The second of the 2-part series is on Saturday at Express Newark at 10:30 a.m. Thank you.
And before we close, I just wanted to make it, so the next women's meeting will be February 27th at 6 p.m. More than likely, we'll have to use the chambers, and it'll also be our 1-year anniversary. So yay! So you make sure you bring some family members, some strong women, so we can move this mission forward. Thank you all. See y'all next month.